did you guys see the aurora the other night?
No.
So Jared and I were out for dinner, and we finished. He had rode his bike to dinner after work. So I'm like, oh, I just want to go pull over and look at the aurora. So I'm in the car looking through the window, and he pulls up in his bicycle beside it, and I wind down the window. I'm like looking out. I'm like, oh, they're so pretty, and I'm looking this way, and he's looking like over the car, the opposite way, and all of a sudden I see this like, oh my God, Claire, oh my God, like this is insane. Something's in the sky. And I was like, what? And I'm like, what is wrong with you? He's like, there's something in the sky, and he's freaking out, and he's taking.
Just listen. Let me finish with.
All right, let's see it.
So these 4 lights are traveling in line across the sky, and what happens is these 2 on the outside travel in to meet the 2 in the middle, and then they zip across the rest of the sky. The entire arc of the sky.
We're like, we've been seen. German phenomenal has seen us. We must go. Whee!
I saw a UFO.
I believe you.
Or not.
It actually got me thinking about something I heard about last year.
400? I will call it 400.
60 years ago, there was, I guess, a couple of guys went out. They got like float planed out to a place to go camping, and like they just got off the plane. We're just gonna go for a paddle, and something crashed and left a big streak in the lake, and spinning and splashing and made a big scene. They went over and checked it out, and they couldn't find anything. It wasn't that much water. Like they poked around their canoe paddles, and they found like a big strip that was in the water, some reeds that were burned.
Was there a thunderstorm? Because that could have been Claire running out of water.
What, you ran from Jeremy?
Definitely predates Claire a little bit, but it's funny, the report, like it happened so long ago, but Archives Canada has it all over the internet, so you can actually read these reports, because RCMP investigated, D&D investigated, they had RCAF out there, all kinds of people, and they worked on it for, I think, like a whole year, but they never found anything. They went out there, they poked around with sticks, they used Geiger counters and probed around, and they just had no luck finding anything, so they never did figure out what it was.
So they didn't think these guys were a couple of crackpots out drinking or something?
No, apparently they were 2 pretty reputable people, so...
It's interesting.
Yeah. I don't know, I just thought it was one of those mysteries that,
Curious
still
if
unsolved,
water
but,
levels
the file's out there. Could be solved. A little modern technology and some a little persistent. Is it my bet?
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Someone who likes finding things.
I know a guy who likes finding things.
So I was at the museum the other day, Fred. I got a copy of the police report that showed something crashing into the lake. So I think it's pretty neat. They talk about a bunch of stuff, the date, the location, but the thing that they block out is who was there. So there's this one name in the police report that's talking about this thing crashing in the lake. And again, all blacked out, and there's just this one name all throughout the report. Mentions other people.
No way, when did this take place?
So this was 1960.
Wow.
So it was something that crashed into a lake about 50 kilometers north of here. And the story was there was somebody who flew out, some kind of adventurer, and he was setting up a camp. And after they were setting up camp, something crashed into the lake. They went and checked it out, and they found this trough in the mud. And then whatever it was went too deep, and they couldn't reach it or see it.
That's interesting. I heard a similar story. It's kind of a rumor around here. That exact same story, and one of the guys in that party was our ex-Prime Minister, Pierre Elliott Trudeau.
Shut up.
That's what I heard. I mean, that's the rumor around. It's the local folklore tale that I've heard around.
Oh God, now he's never gonna get off the story.
So what was he doing in town?
They were canoeing out on the lake. Him and a couple of his friends.
Oh, isn't that's what he was known for though back in the day? He would go canoeing in places?
Yeah. So it's possible.
There's gotta be some way to check that. Dude,
What
an
a
old
great
prime
story.
minister is at a site where a freaking UFO crashed. Conspiracy theorists are gonna go nuts.
Right?
We're going nuts.
No, I mean, that's a hell of a story.
Sure is. It's a great story. Sounds like something to be worth going to have a look for.
I think we should go.
So, explain to me how in the 60 years or so since, it's never been found.
Because nobody's gone back to look for it. Like the RCMP went a couple of times. They didn't have any divers. There was nothing that they could do other than say, yeah, something crashed in the lake and we can't get down there.
This winter, we're going to team up with Andrew Moore from Yellowknife Sport Fishing. He's got all the gear to help us get set up in the winter out at Clan Lake. There's an ice road that can get us most of the way there, but we're going to have to skidoo and track the rest of the way.
All right, where are we at? We're at Cedar Lake. Down here, right at the bottom. So the UFO somewhere up in Clan Lake, up here. So where are we going to camp for the weekend?
Well, we have a couple of choices. We can stay right near the ice road, right off this island, which is right over there. I think sticking close to the ice road to the vehicles is the best option.
Sure. If this is the spot, then let's bust out the tracks and get a move on. Get a camp set up, get warmed up, and get ready to go.
I like it.
Catch some dinner.
Catch some dinner. Yeah, Claire's about the food. Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yes.
Feel great about this.
Going fishing.
You know, I read the sign on the way in. This is not a well-maintained road. What could possibly go wrong on this Jeremy adventure?
Oh yeah, Jeremy Adventure Home!
E.T. phone home.
We've set up camp at the end of the ice road. Now it's time to skidoo to Clan Lake and check it out.
I hope you find something. I don't know. I'm batting 1,000 right now for finding things on trips, so it'd be cool to find something, whether it's a piece of an airplane or satellite or something else. It'd definitely be pretty cool to be able to come home and say that we found something. Whoa.
I've been waiting for this for 4 years, and we made it 300 meters.
Oh. I think the belt's done. That's not gonna be fun to change, but fuck. Oh yeah, you little pieces of it. Thank you.
All right, so we're about 50 kilometers north of Yellowknife. Andrew's just had a problem with his track. Probably just something simple like replacing a belt. Hard to drive with no drivetrain working, so we're going to replace the belt and hit the road again.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. So is this really going to cut into our fishing time?
Yeah. At least we can get it open now, and yeah, belt is done. Woo!
Oh, wow, look at that thing. Oh.
Got her.
You know it's bad when the men pull out the manual.
Thank goodness they have pictures. all I gotta say.
I should be able to get back into town before they close, get the parts, come back.
It's too late to go to Clan Lake tonight. We're gonna go back 300 meters to camp and hang out for the night.
1 and 2 and 3. Happy birthday.
Oh, yum!
to you.
Wow, that is a delight and a half. We're not supposed to do this. Woo!
All right, we have ice cream cake. Here's your birthday present.
Aww. Thanks. What? Are you serious?
Yep.
Aw, you're gonna cry. That's so nice. Aw. That's so sweet. Aw. When did you do that?
Remember those little bits of gold that we found in season 2?
No.
Yup.
Are you serious?
Some of that's in there.
Actually?
Yeah.
That's cool. Wow, this is good.
Hope so.
I only got $80. They're really expensive.
They are. But you're worth every penny, Clark. Look at that sound.
Got some parts. We'll fix it. I thought I was prepared, but turns out I didn't have the required tools to get the belt off, so now I have them. Now I can do the work. Lesson learned.
Do you need turn the driven pulley until the lowest portion of the cogs on the external surface of drive belt is even with the drive pulley edge? Does that make sense?
Yeah, just go forward and backwards a bit.
Wasted a lot of time, so we're gonna redo our plan tomorrow.
All right, here's the story of why we're out here and what we're looking for. So these are the documents that were released under an access to information request about the incident at Clan Lake. So on the 22nd of June 1960, a guy walked into the RCMP station and made this witness statement about what happened. So he and another guy, whose name is blacked out through all the documents, were camping on Clan Lake. They piled their camp gear on the shore and the plane left. After about 20 or 25 minutes, he heard a noise, looked into the sky, didn't see anything. Something struck the water. When he turned around, he saw a splash and what appeared to be an object with arms or spokes rotating in the water. So this is now 3 months after. RCMP flew back again. They did do a sweep with a Geiger counter and they found no radiation.
Well, that's good.
So this Mr. Gordon Brown, geologist, had volunteered to come up after freeze up to do this magnetometer sweep. A year later, so May in '61, they're still writing about it to the commissioner of RCMP, saying, we've received a letter from the Royal Canadian Air Force. This report dated December 19th, 1960. Our detachment in Yellowknife advises that Mr. Brown had to go to Morocco for some weeks and the magnetometer check of the area had to be postponed. Further to our letter, the possibility that the object fell into Clan Lake may be a nose cone of a rocket or some other scientific object in view which we feel the case requires extra endeavor. So now they're starting to say that, hey, maybe this is something space related. So this is from the officer commanding RCMP in Yellowknife. So I mean, there was always this intent to go back. So there's a lot of back and forth between RCMP, the Department of National Defense, the Air Force. This is the thing, there's this lot of back and forth that they're sending these things and here's a copy of this and here's a copy of that. But the access to information, you actually didn't get that report. You get the references to this thing, but never actually the maps and stuff. So I mean, I would imagine they would have taken pictures or at least had a map or a sketch.
yeah.
None of that ever came through in access to information. So they were really centered on there's no radiation, but we need to go in with a magnetometer to check.
But this guy disappeared, and it's like a year later they gave up on it. Here's where I finally find an RCMP officer's name. So he's still alive, and I found him.
Oh, crazy.
Yeah.
And you got a hold of him?
So in 2017, I wrote him a letter.
What?
And I said,
That's cool.
Dear Fred, allow me to introduce myself. I'm a scuba enthusiast and volunteer up here to help people recover things underwater. I'm writing to inquire to you about an event that happened some 57 years ago. Now it's 61 years ago. 61 years ago, I realize that a considerable amount of time has passed since this occurrence, but I hope the extraordinary nature of the investigation had a lasting impact on your memories. Specifically, I mean the investigation into Clan Lake. I've included copies of the report I was provided by the RCMP friend, which may help your memory. I've included a map of Clan Lake. If you can recall, would it be possible to mark the rough area where the object impacted the water? So imagine my surprise a few months later when I get my envelope back. So he wrote back this letter.
Oh my God, look at that handwriting.
So here's my best guess. You can read along, and I'll read what I think he says. So he says, Dear Yellowknifer, take the map and stand facing east. Then pivot till you faced east-north.
Yeah.
Then right across the bay, you will see a black spruce swamp.
Yep.
I'm not sure what that writing is. This spruce swamp is straight off this spruce swamp and near the shore that the prospector thought it landed. The only thing is how far out from shore. If you switch over. I waded out to crotch depth to the water. The water had half-inch ice on it, and shrinkage was a problem around the crotch.
What an old man. You're all fixated.
I also wanted to feel the bottom of the disturbances in the Stoff mud. The water goes deep very quickly. If you were out 40 feet, you would be in 20 feet of water. And then there's a diagram on the next page.
It's hardcore to be trotting around
Yeah.
freezing water like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So this thing might be 40 feet from shore, someplace where there's a drop off.
Yeah.
So they never found what it was because it was too deep. They were going in, walking in with poles and paddles, trying to poke. And then he says, this is super sweet. The water goes deep, very quickly. If you were out 40 feet, you would be in 20 feet of water sloped. That's the diagram. We may come to Yellowknife this, I think, says summer, and would love to see it with you. Good luck.
Regards and good luck.
Yeah.
Aw.
So at this time, my best guess is he's about 82 years old.
I wonder.
But here we have this map is go here, look east. So somewhere in this cove, maybe up by these reeds, this northern part of the lake is where we need to go. So I've rented a magnetometer. Today, after 61 years, we're finally doing the sweep that everyone wanted to occur to identify where in the lake something went in. If we can identify the spot, figure out the depth, we can come back this summer, scuba dive on it, and finally solve the mystery of Clan Lake. I've been working on this story for 4 years now, so I'm really excited that this is finally the time to get out there and at least do the thing that everybody wanted to have happen back in the 1960s. So hopefully we get some good data of something in Clan Lake. F is okay.
Jerry, we got the fishing spot set up, so we're ready.
I'm gonna go do some work.
Okay. Enjoy.
All right, 80 kilometers of this.
Andy's off. Whoa, 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 whoa! I got one, I got one, I got one! Except I can't reel. What is this thing?
I think snowshoes might be better. Can we try those?
Yeah. Catch anything yet?
I got a bite. Nothing too exciting.
How many kilometers do you have done?
2.
This should be much quicker.
We're getting somewhere.
I'm hoping. This will be faster than trying to crash through this snow. All right, good luck with your fishing.
You got some pretty good glide going there.
Yeah, a little bit faster.
This is way too slow. We need a new plan.
That was much easier than walking or snowshoeing or skiing. I mean, we covered a lot of area. We actually covered a lot more area than I really anticipated doing today. I was trying to watch the numbers, like the readings. So the measurements, there were some spots where I thought that they investigated, like this whole Spruce Grove area that they mentioned. There were a couple of points where the magnetometer jumped up in what it was reading. So maybe that's an indication we were close. So we did a lot of north-south traveling. What we'll do is we'll take the data, plug it into the computer, and get a visual of where the hot spots were. And then we can come back and kind of do east-west and narrow down and really focus in on those hotspot areas and hopefully find out what crashed into Clan Lake. All right, so we have hours and hours and hours of the same number. So what we got here is the lat long and the hits, just the magnetic readings we were getting at those points. So what we were looking for is something that was going to jump up really high. So I've sorted these just by the magnetic field. So it's all kind of like, yeah, 57.9, 57.9, 57, 57.9, like thousands of those readings. So 58, sure, that's same. But right at the top.
Big jumps.
Yeah. So I mean, we got this one that's 61,000. 61, 60s. These are all clustered together. I mean, the GPS point is, this thing was reading once every 5 seconds, so we passed over something. Well, that's what we're doing now, is we're programming that in the GPS. So 68, 9, 4. Hopefully that wasn't at the camp. So the only other place where it had a high magnetic field that it picked up, I just plugged that into the GPS, and that's where we parked and set up camp. So something the size of his ATV is what caused the readings that high. There has to be something massive in there.